may seem like minutia, but really does have a bottom line impact as you start to generate revenue from your website. So,
What's the benefit of when you have a business like Facebook page and you have people from like somewhere in bizarre California liking your page that you've never heard of, they don't have any mutual friends? Like, what are they doing? What do they get out of liking you when they have no clue and they're not coming to
who even
themselves?
knows, right? Who knows if they're a real human being? I mean, literally. who
Right,
knows?
so is there something that they're doing that I should get rid of them, delete? I mean, does it matter?
No.
You know, like I was mentioning earlier, is a small portion of your posts are served up to a small portion of your audience. So they don't get every post that you make. You may notice that in your feeds, you're seeing the same people more often than others, and other people not at all. That's a Facebook algorithm that I don't have the answer to. So, you know, from a numbers standpoint, the more people that see your message, the better. And that's where you get back into if 300 people need to visit your site in order to get one phone call, the more 300s that you acquire, the more phone calls you'll get, right? So whether they're in California, you can do remote desktop, right? Or whether they're in, Georgia or wherever, then there's still a value to that. You don't want to necessarily block them or eliminate them, but quantifying that value becomes difficult.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? This is my last slide, and we've got an hour and 10 minutes to go, which means that we dig into our homework. So we can do this two ways. We can work independently, or we can break up into small groups. I have no preference. It's up to you guys. What I want to do is start to take a step back and do some of the strategic thinking around our website. Why we're building a website, who we want as our visitor, and what we want them to accomplish when we're there. And what that'll do is that'll help us with our sitemap, and it'll help us understand what action that we want people to take when they're visiting our website. So, if I can get a Word document here. I did these backwards, I apologize.
Just a question about how, how you were saying how many visits your website translates into a phone call
Sure.
for your services or business. How do you distinguish who's going to your website, let's say you have a standalone location, who's going to your website just to get your address or a phone number, they're an existing clients, versus who's exploring your site for more in-depth information? Like, is there any
So they don't
way to figure
break
that out?
down and give you user-specific information in your analytics, right? The only silver bullet, so to speak, in terms of identifying who the visitor is by implementing call tracking, which has its ups and downs. So what I can do is, if I'm running a pay-per-click ad, or anywhere really, if I'm doing a direct mail piece, I can put a proxy phone number on that piece, and any call that comes in, it registers a click, and I get to track that phone call. So that's as specific as you want, right? You do that for a pay-per-click ad, you know that pay-per-click drove 35 calls, you have the calls, you can listen to them, and now you can say, well, 25 of those calls were existing customers who just went to the website and clicked the ad to get my phone number, right? But those 10, they have a value, and then you can kind of do the legwork into whether they came in and made an appointment, or what the lifetime value of that customer is. So those are the two metrics of digital marketing. It's cost of acquisition, is how much does it take for me to acquire one client, and then lifetime value of the client. And that's how you back in. If I have a $15,000 home automation, interior audio, security, lighting system, I don't mind spending a couple grand on clicks to get people to make the phone call, right? I'm not in that luxury. I don't know, a whole lot of people that are, but if you understand that value, then you kind of know what budget you should be working with. Any strong feelings on independent work or group work to kind of cover these questions, and I'll go through and work with everybody specifically, just to, again, what we're looking for is ultimately creating a site map that we can use next week to start building the website. Talk amongst yourselves, meet as a group, whatever. I'll bounce from area to area and ask everybody a couple specific questions.